Hello, this HighByte Intelligence Hub video focuses on what's new in Release 4.2 and specifically the new Databricks connection. We've noticed that the companies that we work with are using Databricks as their primary enterprise data platform, so we've created a connection that allows them to land modeled industrial data in Databricks. The data is typically packaged in a parquet file, and it can be sent to a managed or an external volume. And when the data is in Databricks, it's discoverable, it's ready to use, it's in the Databricks Unity Catalog, and a lot of times the data is published straight into a bronze or silver layer, and there's no need to stage data. So let's take a look at how that's done. So I'll just move away from Databricks and into Intelligence Hub. We have a new connection protocol, a new connector, Databricks Client. I specify the host, authentication type here. I'm just using a token. I can also use OAuth. Once I've done that, I can configure an output, and I can browse the structure that I've created in Databricks within a workspace. I can create, I can browse to the schema and volume that has been created. But I'm going to do that on the fly. What I have is a namespace, and I've created a namespace. I've linked data to that namespace. I can test, and we can take a look at the data. It's a composite payload for motors consisting of process data obtained in real time from KEP Server EX, and also maintenance data obtained from SQL Server via a query. So I relate that data together for a given motor. I have 3 motors, and that's the data set that we're working with. So I'm going to move to a pipeline. I've already started a pipeline. We're just going to complete the pipeline so that we can send data to Databricks. I'll go into debug mode, and you can take a look at where we're at here with the payload. So I'm polling every 5 seconds, and we're applying a smart query so I can pull that back data from that namespace, and my payload includes the asset name, current speed, and their respective units of measure, and then the maintenance information, and also the path. So that's the data that I'm working with, and what I want to do is I want to package that up, and I'm going to put it into a parquet file. But often what we do is we buffer data in front of creating the file, because we're going to put a lot of data into a file, maybe tens of thousands of records, thousands of records. Here I'm going to just do 5. I'm going to create a real small window size. I'm also going to buffer by the that asset name, the asset that's in the payload. So event.value.asset is going to be my buffer key, and then I'm going to create the file. So that file is going to contain 5 records per motor, and then I'm going to create a new write to Databricks. And I previously created the connection, so I can navigate to that, but I'm going to have to build out the specifics here. I have a catalog, it's just my workspace, and I've really generically named a schema and volume. And I'm going to format the file that I create with event metadata buffer key, so that's the asset name, so file per asset again, and I'm also going to use the date, and then we're going to create a parquet file. So I can save that, and I'll enable the trigger, save, and it's going to take a bit here because we're going to have to buffer records, so we need to buffer 5 records per motor. So it's run 2 times, and then we'll send the data to Databricks. So we're creating that parquet file, and each file will contain data for 1 motor, and that's just the way that I chose to create this solution. So we should have written 3 files to Databricks. If I refresh, we should see those files with the format that I specified. And there they are. So it'll just continue to build these files. So those are parquet files. I could have sent a different format, but that's often what's used with Databricks. So just to summarize, a new connection option with Intelligence Hub that allows us to send data to Databricks directly, typically in a file format, and that can be sent right to a managed or an external volume, and the data is ready to use in Databricks Unity Catalog. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.